Hello, I'm Mortgage Mike, and welcome to your weekly mortgage industry update. Today's topic is on a ray of hope. And can you believe there's a ray of hope in the mortgage industry right now when it seems like things are getting more difficult as the days progress? Well, there's a slight ray of hope, and it revolves around our disclosures. If you remember last year, at the beginning of last year, in January of 2010, a new good faith estimate was revealed to us. Now, there's no doubt about the fact that the disclosures that exist in the mortgage business that have been around since 1974 are hard to understand, hard to explain on my end, and make it pretty difficult for consumers to really shop a mortgage from a cost and an interest rate perspective. Well, last year was the first effort in trying to revise those documents, and unfortunately, the Fed left the mortgage industry out of the whole equation. They didn't come to us to talk about what we thought about the disclosures. We got a new set of disclosures that honestly are more difficult to explain to our consumer clients, our buyers, and really just confuse the situation even more. Well, out of the Dodd-Frank Act comes the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and that bureau has been charged with creating new disclosures, which is fantastic. We need new disclosures. We need easier disclosures. And that ray of hope that we get is that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has actually invited the mortgage industry, the industry that uses these disclosures, the ones that are responsible for explaining these disclosures to our buyers. They actually brought us to the table and asked for our input, which is something that we have not seen for a very long time. As an industry, we have been pushed away from the legislative process, the regulatory process, because obviously we're the ones that are left are the bad players that created the mess we got into several years ago, right? But no, they actually brought us to the table. And it's interesting because we have two sample disclosures that have been put out to the consumer marketplace, to the mortgage marketplace, to the world to be reviewed and commented on, which is something we've seen no regulatory agency in the government do. So the great thing is that I'm going to post a link down here, if I can point that right, for you to go. It's called Know Before You Owe, and it's a place where you can go and actually view the two new disclosures, or two new proposed disclosures. They'll choose one of these disclosures, but there's two proposed versions of them out there that you can go look at. And honestly, when you look at it, it's much easier to read, easier on the eyes. It makes a lot more sense. It'll be easier for me to explain as a loan officer, and honestly, in the end, it's going to be easier for our consumer to understand once they get their hands on it. So I'm Mortgage Mike saying thanks for watching. There is a ray of hope. I know that it doesn't feel like it, but things will be changing in the course of the next couple years to make the mortgage process easier. We just got to make it through this. So spread the love, heal the world, and I'll see you next week.